What's going on, everybody? It's your boy SSBU, and I'm back at it again with yet another video. So first, I want to apologize for I had a huge delay, a huge hiccup in terms of making the next Key to Sora video. I will also be doing more Smash Ultimate content as usual, and then also it'll be more diverse in terms of variety content as well. So I want to apologize for that. But we are back in full swing, I promise you that. So, this Key to Sora video is an extra, all right? So before Thunderga comes out, I thought to myself, the Smash Ultimate Major Supernova is coming out this weekend, and it's one of the biggest Smash Ultimate Majors to date in the entire, we'll just say, the span of the game's existence. So 2018 until present, and as you can see, the picture of that, cool. However, because I was thinking that, I'm like, okay, it shouldn't just be about Supernova for this weekend, but I'm making this video to overall help you guys prepare for majors, for any form of major tournament that you go to. So, essentially killing two birds with one stone. So treat this video as a mix of a podcast with gameplay in the background, with giving some advice, and then a pep talk at the end to help you all get ready for this major and future ones that you'll be attending. All right, so I may miss some important tips or things that you as a person may know or have experienced while you've gone to majors, so please leave any advice that you have for everyone in the comments below. Okay, so the different topics that I'm going to cover are mentality and basic advice, overall tips for Sora, this means just in a general sense, stage recommendations, and then we get more specific into the types, the play styles of Soras, right? So I have tips for the defensive type of Soras, I have tips for the bait and punish type of Soras, and then I also have tips for the aggressive Soras, like myself. Hi, you know what I mean? And then finally, we're gonna have a pre-bracket pep talk, all right? It's gonna be a lot that goes into this. I've put timestamps in here. This is, again, it's a mix of different things that'll go into this topic, but trust the process. And again, it's gonna be a lot of different things, many different concepts and everything that connect with everybody else, all right? So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so getting into the video, the first thing let's talk about, let's go to the basics. What are major tournaments? So think of them as very high stake competitive tournaments that have more people and more pressure behind every set. And by more pressure, I mean increase that by like tenfold in terms of the amount of pressure that you have on yourself now. But there's one thing that separates majors away from any tournament, which comes down to one word and one word only: survival. These tournaments will bring out the best and the absolute worst in every person. In a general sense, people can become frustrated, nervous, sad, or even desperate when it comes to winning. On the flip side though, this can bring out a lot of confidence, passion, and push someone's determination the furthest that it's ever gone in their competitive career. There will be various loud noises, people cheering on their friends to do well or to encourage them. Some top level player may be fighting right next to your setup, and that can become crazy in itself too. Remember to focus and channel in on your respective set that you are playing. No one else matters. No one else matters. Okay, unless it's like a fire alarm or something going off, then obviously you gotta go, but you get the point here. In a game sense, this can go from playing very safe and campy when they are able to get a stock lead, people treating every stock like it's their last, or really pushing the aggression when they feel that it's the right time to throughout any part of the set. So, as Sora, things are going to be much harder for us than other characters, such as, for example, Cloud or Pyramithra. We cannot make as many mistakes. We're not exactly the lightest on Earth, but we are pretty lightweight. And the combos will have to be on point / confirmed, and the demand for mental composure will be extremely high for us. I promise you this, if you are feeling extremely shy and or timid and have very little confidence in yourself, you are not going to go far at all with this character. This is not me being like a bully or anything like that, or in my opinion, speaking from personal experience, and other Soras will tell you this. I promise you that, okay? So, since we have a harder character to use in this game, we need to work towards making certain things as simple for ourselves as we can, which we'll talk about throughout the video. In a nutshell though, majors are extremely volatile. Anything can happen to anyone. Keep this in mind. However, like I said before, I'm here to prepare you, not just talk about majors. Before I start, I want to emphasize first to have fun. Have fun at these majors. As intense as it can be when it comes to competing, it's most important to enjoy the event itself. Meet new people, play friendlies with different players and characters, get to networking and stuff like that. Don't go the entire weekend and only focus on your competitive placement or how you think you're gonna do and stuff like that, because all it is going to stress you out unnecessarily, and then you're gonna realize, wow, the rest of the event has gone by and I have not done anything. I'd personally do that. I'd personally like to go experience the entire thing. I'm just telling you that is not a way to go out in a major. We'll start from the beginning. So, number one, what I want to tell y'all is I want y'all to look at your bracket and study your matchups. Most majors will be on the start.gg website when you go to sign up, so you can access where that information is when you log in onto the website. For those who don't know how to find their respective bracket, I'll walk you through it. So, as you can see, we're on the start.gg page. You could just type it up here. You just www.start.gg, as you can see, right? Now, here we go. Now, what you want to do is there's a side scroll bar right here. I'm on a personal computer at the moment, but let's say you're on your phone, right? There will be a three, it's called a hamburger symbol. It's like three little bars that'll go like bar, bar, bar right here, and it'll lead you right back to the same exact thing, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way down to this bottom left part of the corner. Now, this bottom left part of the corner is going to have your profile on here, because you obviously made a profile when you signed up, right? So, as you can see, it says on mine, AlexBL. Go to tournaments. Now, for this case, because I'm not going to Supernova, the thing of Supernova is here, but I'm just using this other thing to make an example, or to prove an example. You go here, you go to tournaments, and then let's just say, for example, I go to a tournament. So as you see, Love to See It Tuesdays, that's a weekly tournament series that I host. I just type that in, right? Or I click on that. And then what you'll see here is it'll tell you to view bracket. Let's just say you're on this page, right? I'm just gonna use an example of one of the people that is already here. But the point is the actual page. You see where on top of here, you see the entire page. Let's say your name is Greg J. You know that you're gonna fight Simon Hamilton. Okay, great. It has Simon Hamilton's name on there. Now what you do is you go up to the top, click Show Projected. So what Show Projected essentially does is it shows you, hey, based on how they seed this tournament, and that means what placement they expect people to go in, right, in terms of, or to finish at when they finish the tournament. You go here, and then when it has that check right there, that's supposed to mean, hey, this person is supposed to win. So Tweak is supposed to win all the way here, go through winners, whatever, right? Let's say you're Greg J. That means you're seeded to win against Simon Hamilton, right? You're seeded to lose against Tweak. Bless your soul, by the way, Greg J. If you are watching this, I hope you do your best against Tweak. That's gonna be rough. Anyway, now if you scroll down, right? He's seeded to go to fight this person, Dreamless. All right, this person, Dreamless, and then have a orange check on there. Now let's just say, okay, cool. For this example, you have 3 matches you're gonna play against. You're gonna play 3. So this set, and then this set. All right. Now that you know that you see this information of cool who I'm gonna fight against, we gotta start doing a little bit of research. All right. So what this research is we're gonna figure out who does Simon Hamilton play? What you could do, the first part is, let's say you look up his full profile. Now, what you could attempt to do is to see if the guy has a Twitter. So, for example, let's say we tried to find that guy, Simon Hamilton, and he doesn't have any Twitter information. I'll just use myself as an example for the Twitter just to show what I mean by this. So, as you can see, if you look on my Twitter page, right, you see Sora right here from my profile banner, and then within my bio, you'll see I say content creator, FGC competitor, Sora main SSBU. That is very important. Most people, not all, but most people who will have some form of a social media account will have a Twitter. And when they have this Twitter, what happens is, sorry, I'm just fixing it up. So what happens when they have this Twitter is that they may or may not put their main on there, which if they do, perfect. That lines up for you. So then that gives you more information about them, right? So, okay, let's say we figure that out. There's another option that we can look at. And then again, for the example, I'm going to use myself. Let's say you have to fight against me, and then I'll just type in what we should do in the search bar, okay? So what I did for this case, as an example, is I typed in on the top part, SSBU, and then whatever your opponent's tag is. Like I said, I put myself for reference here, right? You see Alistair BL. So the first thing that pops up is my Key to Sora guide, right? Key to Sora. Well, I feel like if that pops up, maybe that might give an idea I'm a Sora man, but that's besides the point. And then as you can see, there are VODs of me. I have VODs versus Goober707. I have VODs versus Lively Sprouts, right? This is important because now you can start to understand, okay, cool. How does this person potentially play under pressure in brackets, and especially at majors? That's really important to look at people at majors versus at their locals. You know what I mean? And let's just say the Twitter option didn't work. Cool, great, you couldn't find anything. YouTube, that I just showed you, is your next best option. Now, the last option that you have, so I've already pulled this up I'm just have it like pre-pulled up. So this website, and I'll have it within the link of I'll have it in the description. So all of the things that I talk about for websites, I'll have that there for reference. So you have smashdata.gg. Now what this website essentially does is it tracks tracks as many players that have recorded data in terms of in tournament, right? Recorded data, and say, hey, we can find this person, and we're using this website to find what character this person uses. So I'm gonna use myself as an example again. If you go to player right here, and then cool, and then if you type in, so mine is Alistair BL. So as you can see, number one, it already pops up, like the system already snitches on me and says I'm a Sora man, right? Cool, great. If you see now, what happens is, okay, cool, it tells you what characters this person uses, right? You see, it tells all these different ones. This is a collective of data of how many people that a person has used, right? And then on top of that, you have the tournaments that they go into, and then you have people's placements as well. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, somebody wanted to look up all of my tournament data. They could. They legit could. It's public information. There's nothing wrong with that. Same for you. Again, but your objective is to figure out what character does this person use. If you want to look at their placements, that's okay. Don't do it to scare yourself. Do it to be like, hey, whether the person is good or bad, doesn't matter. That's okay, just as long as you look up the information and then you know exactly who you're going to fight against, which is cool, right? Now, after you have found all of that information, which is fantastic, so good on you if you have found it. If you have done all three of these options and nothing has worked, they're probably new. They're probably a new player, or they're not necessarily the best at Smash. I mean, I'm not just saying this just to be like, I'm just saying this based on personal experience. It's usually how it goes, because there's some form of tracking data or something that you can usually use. Okay, so let's say you found the person that you're supposed to fight against. You know their tag, and you know what characters that they're playing. We're going off of that one other previous example. So let's say you have an idea of 3 matchups that you know that you're going to fight, right? We're going to be using, shout outs to we're going to be using a Sora matchup MegaDoc. Shout outs to DTP. He is one of the best Soras in the world. Shout outs to him. Hopefully he's watching as well. And I will put an image of where his, or to mention like what his Twitter is and stuff like that. Now, I mentioned this MegaDoc for a reason. This MegaDoc is sacred, is a freaking Sora library of how to fight against matchups. So just to give you in a nutshell of how this works, this individual has created a mega document. It's for Sora's matchups. What's included is things such as what range to stay at, the character's combo gravity, like if they're fast fallers, mid-weights, or floaties, what moves are punishable, like punishable on parry, stuff like that, etc. And basically it gives you an entire gist / idea of how you want to go about handling matchups. All right, now let's just do this for an example. Let's say your character, and then also please read his notes. I'm just doing this for, again, a quick little run through. Let's say you need to fight Mario. Also, if you like click the button, it like just goes to the different links things for you. So let's say I want to go to Mario. Okay, great. This has, as you can see, the different colors. Like the colors are explained at the top part of the reference. So again, please read that. I'm just not reading all of it just for the sake of just showing you guys this in the video. Again, he tells us we should abuse our Sora hitboxes, stuff on Mario's approaches when they're in bear. It says oppressive close range frame data, fast and varied out of shield options. And then it tells you, so Ars Arcanum, for those who do know already, I haven't covered that in the video. I will be covering that. There's a lot of different topics and stuff that I'll talk about throughout the video that haven't been covered, but just know that I got y'all covered on that one. So, as you can see, it's various things telling you, hey, how you should go about things, what things should be done. There's a good stages section, like what's good for you, okay stages, bad stages, things of that nature, all right? And then also there will be an example of some VODs that you can review to look at these different things. So, again, there is no excuse of y'all not studying your matchups, okay? Study your matchups, these are important. I treat all this information that I've been giving you about this, treat it seriously, because you do not want to go in unprepared. That's the worst thing you want to happen for this major, all right? Next thing to talk about is I want you guys to eat a good breakfast and bring some water with you. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have a good breakfast before going to play. Make sure you wake up early enough to give yourself time to find food, then go to the venue. This can vary from you going to your favorite restaurant or making food yourself. If there's no available restaurants or anything around you, go to the nearest convenience store and find some good breakfast snacks to have. Any form of sustenance is important here. The last thing you want is to go into bracket hungry or thirsty. It will mess with your nerves more and force you to become more impatient in situations where that slight amount of patience could win you a set. I am speaking from personal experience here. If the venue allows outside drinks, bring in a bottle of water to help you hydrate throughout your sets. Having any form of distractions, such as hunger or thirst, could potentially tamper with your ability to play effectively. Next tip, bring an extra hoodie or t-shirt with you if possible, like in a book bag or something. This one is one of the more subtle, but it's important tips. The reason why you want to bring this in is because you don't know the temperature that the venue is going to be in until you step into it. It could be extremely hot or cold, and for some people, either that makes their hands feel colder when playing, their hands could feel sweaty, or they tend to overheat. Being able to adapt to what temperature the venue is in will help you tremendously. We want to reduce any outside factors for messing with us when it comes to competing, so if you can help it by doing so, you'll be thanking yourself later for it. Next one, put on some deodorant. Oh my gosh, please. Look, this is me being a content creator, and this is me spreading the positive word. Bro, wash up. Like, please, wash up. Like, take a shower or something beforehand, before the tournament or something like that. Keep some deodorant on. Wash up with some soap, some soap and water. Jeez, please. We cannot be out here as gamers, like, feeling dirty. Like, we can't do that, bro. Like, it's nasty. Ugh. Sorry, I had to put that one in. That's a little extra tip, but like, for real, like, stay clean, man. The combos shouldn't be the only thing that's clean. Like, we should not be out here being dirty. Next, charge your headphones the night before. Charge your headphones. In my opinion, people should bring their own music because it drowns out other people, but also you can set your own music to your sets. It's like background music, right? Then again, I also understand that not many people do that, which is also fine. But if you do listen to music, make sure you charge them the night before. You have a full charge, so then when you go into bracket, there's no, oh crap, I was listening to music, but damn, my headphones died. No, let's not do that. Next, we'll go over overall Sora tips. Now that we have the actual preparing for bracket out of the way, here's some tips for every Sora to focus on and keep in mind no matter what playstyle you have. So, the first thing is, do not throw out lazy down airs and disadvantage. I cannot stress enough how bad down air can be, especially when we panic and throw this move out in bad situations. If the more desperate you get to just randomly throw it out, I feel like Smash just has this magical existence of Murphy's Law to where it's like, bro, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong and you will die for it. It sucks. Most characters can capitalize and anti-air us or have strong enough hitboxes to contest and hurt us, such as Cloud up air / up smash, Palutena's up air and up smash, Snake up tilt, Game & Watch up tilt or up smash. There's so many more. Use this move sparingly because it will cost you stocks in important situations if you do it at the wrong time. Next, mix up where you place your spells. As good as Sora spells can be, they balance out by leaving us wide open in situations when they are not spaced correctly or if someone is able to punish us by doing something like double jumping over them. With that being said, make sure to implement using spells on the ground and either full hopping or short hopping to keep our opponent on their toes. A lot of characters have to respect our spells as is, but if you make it easier for them to punish us, this makes the match swing in their favor, where we don't have to let that happen to us. Next, speed up your movement by using initial dashes. So I'm going to give a more in-depth video on movement later, but the most important thing here is realizing that using initial dashes is faster than you doing just like a regular dash. So to do this, just tap left or right on your control stick, wait for the dash animation to finish, then tap left or right again, and repeat. It's simple to do, but it's way faster to move this way as Sora. It's very effective. This type of movement can be the difference between you getting away from someone swinging at you or help you close the distance on your opponent. To tie into that, we also have shield dashing. Is an extremely important thing to do as Sora. So, in order to shield dash, you just do an initial dash, then hold shield afterwards, then release shield, and then initial dash again, and then just rinse and repeat. This movement will help you tremendously with approaching zoners or characters that try to stay far away from you, but prevents you from taking unnecessary damage. If you notice your opponent's trying to grab you out of this technique, spot dodge and punish accordingly. For a character that does not have the best movement, shield dashing helps make up for that. And Sora's initial dash is actually pretty decent. It's not bad. Actually, it's one of the better initial dashes, surprisingly. So we gotta make that work for us. Next, read your opponent's air dodges when combos drop. One of Sora's most potent things is not only in his combo game, but the fact that he can read air dodges and be able to hard read opponents and close out their stocks if done correctly. If you notice that the combo you're going for isn't working like how you want, try to react to how your opponent air dodges in response. This will make closing out stocks or forcing your opponent to make bad mistakes a lot easier for you. Next is using side B1 in tech situations. Again, I will cover all of the uses of side B in a later video. However, this is important advice to understand at the moment for majors. So, it can be used as a whiff punish tool to punish people for swinging at you or before their hitbox comes out when they try to be preemptive. If you are on stages that have platforms, if you do side B1, then they land onto that platform, and if they land onto that platform, then we need to take advantage of those situations. The most basic but powerful punish is doing up smash. If they miss a tech, you can immediately up smash as soon as you see them miss it. If they neutral tech, you can delay the timing just a little bit, then punish them for it. If they tech in or away, you can attempt to read where you think they'll go, and then they can get punished that way. Next is stage recommendations. This section will be straightforward, but will give you perspective on how to think about this at majors. I also have not covered this full and in depth, but I will do so in another video. So first, in a general sense, we want to avoid flat stages like Final Destination, Town and City, and Kalos Pokemon League majority of the time. These stages do not have many platforms and mostly leaves you to use Sora's movement alone to get around your opponent and will make it harder for you, especially if your combo game is weak. This can be a huge problem if we get outsped and outcamped by our opponents. If you are allowed 2 bans, in bracket, ban Final Destination and Kalos Pokemon League. If you are allowed 3 bans, include Town and City into this rotation. Also, again, if your combo game is weak, do not go to Battlefield. That stage helps extend combo game and also cleans up movement, but the top blast zone being higher will make it very difficult for you to kill your opponent, and we don't want to make anything easier for who goes against us. Besides that, Sora does good on the remaining stages for any form of stages that usually comes into play. Just try to keep a good balance of platforms and how you need to kill your opponent in mind. Right, now let's get to the nitty-gritty about tips towards each playstyle. Also keep in mind that playstyles will also be covered in a more depth and in future video. Look, I was telling y'all before, I told y'all it's going to be some stuff that's going to be in some videos. We got a lot of stuff to cover, alright? So, for my defensive Soras, they're the ones who like to camp much more, play slower, use more spells, and try not to be near the opponent as much. Here's some tips I got for you. Number 1, clean up your combo game and your kill confirms. Your combos have to be on point when you are playing this playstyle, since there won't be many situations that you will be winning in neutral when doing this playstyle, because most characters have better options to combat this. If you are not an absolute combo monster, be brilliant at the basics. We're talking about Nair 1-2 into Fair 1-1-2-3, and especially Nair 1-2 into Up Smash or into Up B. Those need to be on point to get you as much damage you can get for these small wins and when they're at kill percentage. It's okay not to be good at 1,000 kicks, alright? But if you can practice one particular kick 1,000 times, it's a threat. So keep them, like, if you need to be brilliant at the basics, that's cool too. Go ahead. Next, try to maintain center stage as much as you can. Don't try to go all the way to the other side of the stage to avoid your opponent. If you're closer to ledge, all it takes is for your opponent to knock you off, and now you're in a ledge trap situation that could either make you take unnecessary damage and keep getting sent off stage, or you get killed because you gave your opponent too much stage. Next, do not get lazy with your spell usage. Your playstyle emphasizes the most on spell usage, so that means that you need to keep your positioning on how you cast spells in mind on point. If you notice that they're catching onto your habits of casting and you're getting punished for it, replace some of that spell casting with preemptive nairs or fairs, then react and combo that way. Next, use F-tilt and up air more. F-tilt and up air are going to be your best get off me tools against people trying to approach you. Both of these moves have great knockback, and when spaced and placed preemptively enough, they can be made safe. F-tilt will reset neutral for you to reset your spells. To just continue your spell neutral, while up air will start juggles that you can emphasize on for easy damage. For my whiff punish Soras, these are those who like to emphasize on when their opponent overextends with swinging / projectiles, then capitalize off of that. You also take advantage of attacking second more than being the first to swing. Here's some tips I got for y'all. First, you need to use initial dashes religiously for ground movement. You should not be doing the normal dashes when it comes to this form playstyle. Slightly increasing your movement by using initial dashes can help you so much more in avoiding getting hit by your opponent, especially when they want to swing and catch you. Sora already has a tiny hurt box, so we want to take advantage of that and use that as much as we can. Next, get used to staying just barely out of people's threat range. This is important because whiff punish characters usually are very fast and agile, which makes their ability to do it better and attacking second better. We don't have that with Sora. Our movement is slower compared to most, initial dashes included. However, we can compensate for that by staying right outside of the range that our opponent wants us. And if they try to punish us or be preemptive, you can protect yourself with Nair or Fair and get solid punishes from this. Next, I want you to focus less on shielding and more on moving around. Whiff punishing won't be as effective if you're in shield most of the time, because we don't have the fastest out of shield options in order to be able to properly punish like that. But most whiff punish characters really don't, like Joker or Greninja or something like that. They have bad out of shield options, but they are gods at movement, you know? So, getting comfortable with being as mobile as you can will give you more openings to capitalize on when your opponent gets impatient. Next, down tilt grounded opponents more. I want you to keep down tilt in mind as a whiff punish tool, but also a don't get close to me tool. When used correctly, either it will force our opponent to shield and stay within that range, when Nair or up air can be used to stop their approach, or if it hits, you can convert into combos from it. Next, pay attention to your opponent's punishing habits. A big part about whiff punishing is understanding what moves your opponent wants to use in order to start their combos or kill us. In a major scene, most people will have a few default options that they want to go for. They want to make it as simple as they can to rack up easy damage. When you can catch on to what it is that they want to do, it paints a clearer picture for you to be able to punish and turn that against them. As for my aggressive Soras, myself included, these are the ones who take every opportunity to approach our opponent and not allowing them to breathe. So, the first thing is use as many Nair mix-ups as you can. For our particular playstyle, Nair is the key to implementing this playstyle correctly. If we use the same type of Nair approach, such as, let's just say we do Nair 1 into Nair 2, and into fast fall Nair 2, and that's about it, our opponent can punish us and keep doing so until we do something different. So instead of just doing that one basic mix-up all the time, sometimes do number 1 to fast fall and dash grab, or maybe Nair 1 into Nair 2 and Nair 3 just to open our opponent up, and then that form of a cycle just starts conditioning our opponent to do different things and behave differently when we have that pressure. Next, abuse mid-range and preemptive Nairs more. Sora's mid-range is very powerful, especially with that's the ideal range that he wants to stay at, since if we hit our opponent, we can go into a good combo after catching them with a particular Nair or Fair or something like that. Try to run your opponent into the corner or into situations where they have to pick an option that will be near us that we could potentially punish. And I'm not saying that you have to break mid-range by doing that either, because mid-range can be whether you say in one particular area, like, okay, cool, if this is considered mid-range, you can move that mid-range across the stage. You can keep it. Again, you're just trying to keep your opponent on their toes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Next, clean up your combo game, tech chasing, and air dodge reading. This is all put into one collective, similar to defensive Soras, because optimizing these situations causes our opponent to panic and attempt to get away from us with more reckless methods because they are irritated about us running them over. And on top of that, comparable to defensive Soras, both of us are more likely to get hit. We are more likely to get hit and harmed compared to whiff punishing. If you know that that you keep dropping a combo at a certain point, especially like mid-set, get ready to read what the opponent will do next so you can reset that combo and get extra damage, or just go for the kill if you can do it correctly. So our basic confirms like Nair 1, 2 into Fair 1 through 3, and then kill confirms like Nair 1, 2 into up B or up smash need to be on point as well. Leave very little room for our opponent to keep their socks. We need to close those out when we can. This will in turn force our opponents to respect us and also be very afraid of Nair when they see it come out. Alright, now that I've covered everything else in this video, it's pep talk time. So, Eyes on the prize, everybody. I want you to do your absolute best. It does not matter if this is your first or 100th major. Walk in that venue with confidence, knowing that you are going to experience this with everything you got. Look at every single player with the same approach. If you are fighting a top level Steve, think to yourself, I'm fighting a good Steve, or a good Min, or a good Mario. Things of that nature, whoever you have to fight. Alright? It's major time. There is no room for doubting yourself in this very moment. Sora is not for the weak-hearted. You chose him because you know that you have the heart to do this with him. I need you to 200% believe in yourself at this very moment. If you are nervous, a bit shaky, if you are nervous and a bit shaky, drink some water, take some deep breaths, compose yourself. Alright? Remember that your opponent is human too. They could be going through the same exact thing as you. Review DTP's MegaDoc for each character matchup before you play the set. Look at it real quick on your phone. And you have a minute in between each game to review that doc on your phone. The link is in the description if you need it. Whether you win or lose a set, calm down, reset yourself, be prepared for the next set. Alright? Shake it off, we on to the next one. If you get put onto stream for a set, instead of being nervous that you're on stream, which may cause you to play worse, walk on that stage with confidence knowing that you could walk away from this with a win. You could win. You could lose, but you could also win. If no one else tells you, whoever is watching this, I believe in you. You got this. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, alright? I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope that this guide has helped. And, as we Kingdom Hearts enjoyers like to say, may your heart be your guiding key.